Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, live here on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. Look, ladies and gentlemen, normally I come up with some really cool, funny shit to say, start to show off, and we crack a lot of jokes and we get all into it, whatever, whatnot. And tonight we're not really doing Dynamite reviews. Tonight we're not really here to have fun. We're not going to talk about big meaty men slapping meat and all that other shit that we normally talk about because, quite honestly, today is a very somber day.
We have had a loss.
Not only a loss, but
an
a great
unexpected
loss.
Unexpected loss too.
We lost perhaps one of the greatest tag team wrestlers in the history of professional wrestling. I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of prayers out for his kids. We are alive. Kofi, thanks for joining us.
Kofi Wingstop.
We really need a lot of prayer for both his children. They both were in the car with Jay when he passed away.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this shit literally does hurt, man. It fucking sucks. I didn't want to tell my co-hosts, but at one point I had talked to Jay when he was at WrestleCade 2 weeks ago. Well, back in November. About coming on the show to talk about their historic double dog collar match. And well, now I won't get a chance to. I met Jay Lethal. I met Jay Briscoe several years ago in a show in Texas, as a matter of fact, and really nice guy, really down to earth. Was there to like critique the match, give us his input. Real humble guy. Funny guy, you know what I'm saying? Just it just really fucking sucks. It really does. Like I was beat up literally all day today at work, and the news just kept pouring in, just kept going and going and going and going and going.
Like really going.
And at one point today at work, I literally had to go in the bathroom and break down and cry. I'm this is a really hard day for a lot of us. Anyone in the professional wrestling industry who's been around knows the history of the Briscoes, knows, just, like for instance, Jay's a two-time former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, singles champion. Him, the Briscoes, and I believe it was it Kevin Steen? Were the World Six-Man Tag Team Champions. They were 13-time and current Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. Yep. First, one-time and current House of Glory Tag Team Champions. They won the 2022 Crockett Cup last year. They just came off of a great match with the Rock and Roll Express. They were 2007 Wrestler Observer Tag Team of the Year. One-time GHC Junior Tag Team Champions, one-time IWGP Tag Team Champions, two-time Never Openweight Six-Man Tag Team Champions, one-time Impact Wrestling Champion, three-time GCW World Tag Team Champions, and two-time CZW World Tag Team Champions. A lot of my friends in the industry are really broken up about this. I talked to Homicide today. No words. Black G's. No words. Kerry Silken. No words. Like, these are people that have been around them. So look, Sami Zayn put the best. This tweet made me cry. Sami Zayn credits the Briscoes with his life, his career, just like Sinner. Look, Sinner says here, Jay literally saved my life a few years ago. I've lost a brother, bro. Trust me, I completely understand. Tell us, Sinner, why don't you tell us a story, man? Go ahead and put it out there for us so we can kind of get a grasp over what he meant to you and how this has affected you. I mean, guys like Shane Taylor, guys like Silas Young, and everyone that I know in Ring of Honor is dealing with this right now. And FTR, my God, Dax Harwood's tweet,
yeah,
and that right there is the reason why today I decided I don't want to talk about Dynamite. Don't get me wrong, Dynamite was a fabulous show. The crowd 1,010% into it. It was a 10 out of 10 show.
Yeah, it was.
But I don't want to talk about that. I really want to just sit and talk about the impact that Jay Briscoe had on professional wrestling. And today is Mark Briscoe's birthday. Can you imagine waking up on your birthday without
Your
your
brother's
tag team
gone.
partner, your best friend, your brother, the man you spent your entire life with? I can never fit the words into one chat about what he's done for me and so many others. You know what? Maud, do me a favor. Would you send Center the link so Center can join us tonight so we can talk about it before we go into what I decided I wanted to do for Jay tonight. Sasha's down for it. I wanted to honor
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
not just the wrestler but the man. You know, this man. I watched the video of him doing a cheerleading routine with his daughter.
I saw that video too.
That broke my heart so bad, dude. To know that his daughter was in surgery. I haven't got an update yet.
Hopefully they're okay.
What?
I hope the daughter is okay after the surgery.
Both daughters were in the car with him, and Jay didn't have his seatbelt on, and this is what happened. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna paraphrase the story. I think I sent you guys a story earlier. I'll go find the story that way. I don't. Okay, here it is right here. The Delaware State Police released details of the accident that killed Jay Briscoe. Okay. Now, as we go into this, Jay's both his daughters were hospitalized. One is in critical condition. She went into surgery earlier. Ashley, the Jay's wife, posted on her Facebook prayers for her daughter who went into a surgery to repair her spine. That her legs weren't working. That she just prayed that her daughter will come out of it. Okay, so I'm gonna read it verbatim. On January 17, 2023, at approximately 5:09 p.m., a 2019 Chevy Silverado 1500 edition was traveling westbound on Laurel Road, just west of Gooseneck Road. At the same time, a 2016 Chevy Silverado 2500 was traveling eastbound on Laurel Road, same vicinity. For some unknown reason, the driver of the 1500 pickup truck failed to remain in her lane. She crossed over the center line, resulting in a head-on collision.
Oof.
The driver of the Chevy Silverado, a 27-year-old woman named Lillian, I'm not going to say her last name because obviously her family is going through it as well, was wearing her seatbelt when she hit the 2500 Silverado, which was driven by Jay. Both drivers were pronounced dead at the scene. Jay's two daughters, his 12-year-old daughter and his 9-year-old daughter, were both properly restrained. Both girls were taken to the hospital by ambulance, and both were admitted into critical care. There was no alcohol involvement known as of this time. Basically, what it is the lady crossed over, and she struck the car head on at a very high rate of speed. Jay wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and that's the reason why he passed. So, ladies and gentlemen, wear a seatbelt. I know it's hard. I know, like I know shit happens. You know what I mean? I know people are in a rush. Ashley, his wife, she put this out here. I'm gonna bring Center in real quick. Ashley, his wife, posted this on Facebook earlier. We need prayer. Gracie is on her way into surgery for her back. Jamin will want the whole world praying for his little girl. We believe in the power of prayer. Prayer for the doctors and anyone working on her. Pray for her precious legs to move again. Pray for Jaylee, that's his other daughter, who has some serious injuries but is stable and resting. Pray for Gannon, which is his son, waiting at home. Pray for strength and for all of us. We have a long road ahead of us. She literally posted a picture from earlier in the day when they all went to Crumble Cookies, and they bought cookies, and they went to the cheerleading practice or the cheerleading event, and it was such a beautiful fucking picture, man. Like when I think of spending time with my kids, I think of things like that. When I think of being with my family and the people that I love, I think of things like that. Because we put our bodies on the line all the time in wrestling matches, and wrestling's dangerous. I can break my neck at any given time. That could be it. I can die in the ring. I mean, we joke about things like that all the time. Like Ric Flair's gonna die in the ring, but seriously,
that he really could. He really can.
Look what happened to. What was it? Pedro Aguayo.
Yeah.
Junior.
Was that the one who got slapped in the chest?
A 619. A 619. He hit the ropes wrong and broke his neck.
Yep.
Like shit like that happens, man.
Yeah,
shit like that happens. Like William Huckabee, very cool guy. I wrestled Will Huckabee for the NWA Continental Championship in one of the biggest matches I've ever had in my career. And Will Huckabee had a heart attack. Literally almost died. Has stents in his heart right now. It's fucked up. Crazy. And Julian, you don't know what it meant to me when you called me this morning, because as I drove to work, I was in such a bad state, man. And when I saw that you had called and I called you back, like I said, I barely got sleep last night. I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning. All day I worked today, and the news just kept coming, and it just made it worse and worse and worse. And then everyone that I talked to, all my friends in this industry, like hundreds of people have talked to me today. And that's why I decided that today I didn't want to talk about AEW. I didn't want to talk about WWE. I don't want to talk about Vince McMahon. Last night, it gets overwhelming supporting each other and our strengths. Yeah, it's just true. That's really true. And in this industry, there's a saying, I am my brother's keeper. And in situations like this, you really see that that's real shit. Like, that's real shit. So, pray for Gracie. My daughter's name is Grace, and that hit me hard, too. And I'm going to tell you guys something I haven't really told a lot of people, but my mom died a couple of years ago, and my friends urged me to put together a GoFundMe. I got $1,000 donation from Jay. It's just out of nowhere, $1,000. Like, that's people taking care of their people. You know what I mean? Like, in this industry, we always say it. And don't get me wrong, there's some shitty ass people in this business. People who suck the life out of it. People who ride your coattails. People think that they're exciting, But at the end of the day, that's a brotherhood, a real brotherhood. And Jay's one of those guys. You look at Jay Briscoe and you see the things he's done. Like, I listen to his accolades. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys think The Rock will show up? We don't want to talk about that tonight, man. This is not about that. Yeah, that's what it's about.
We're just talking about Jay Briscoe, and that's all we're talking about today.
So I'm gonna turn it over to our boy here, Sunday Sinner, who's gonna tell us a story about how Jay helped him out. It's okay, Rocky. It's all good, man.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to. The first thing I want to say is my day job. I work for an accident management company. All it is we take phone calls all day about wrecks, and so today was very, very, very trying for me. And I've had to step away quite a few times. Now, 10 years ago, Jay sent out a tweet that got him in a lot of trouble. It cost him a WWE contract.
Yeah, I remember
and it's the reason the networks wouldn't let him on TV or on AEW. And I met Jay probably maybe a year or two after that happened. In 2005, I lost my dad, and I was fucked up in every way, shape, and form. because I was only in my 20s at the time, late 20s. And I showed up to a show that Jay was on in absolutely no condition to even try to work, but I had those beer goggles on. And I thought I was going to, and Jay's one of the people that sat me down, and I kind of just opened up to him, I didn't know Jay at the time. He was just another one. He was one of the guys, one of the superstars on the show, even though he didn't act like that. But in everyone's eyes, oh, he's an ROH super indie, whatever. And Jay actually took the time to sit me down and like talk to me and figure out what's going on. And I don't know how, but Jay has, and anyone that knows Jay will say this, he has this unique ability to get you to open up to him like you have known him for decades. And I don't know how the hell he does it, but he does it. So I explained to him everything about it. What is going on with my dad, everything, and he made sure I got home that night because he didn't let me drive. He made sure, one of the guys took me home, all that stuff. And he gave me his number before I left, which he didn't have to do that. He didn't need to do that. I never met the man before in my life. I've never done anything for him. The wrestling business is a very, what have you done for me business?
Yep.
Which sucks. And it's something I think needs to be changed within the business. It needs to be a more, what can we do for each other business? And situations like this is exactly why. But, I stayed in contact with Jay, and Jay knew that, I was openly gay. He knew that, he's met my husband. He was really nice to both of us. He's always treated us with respect. And we were talking about the incident at the show, and, he said I learned one thing, from a few years ago when I said that stuff on Twitter. He said, it's not about the mistakes you make. It's about how you learn and grow from them. Because Jay learned and he grew from those tweets. It wasn't a hollow apology. It wasn't, because I saw people last night on Twitter made me sick, still slamming him even after his death because of something he did 10 years ago.
That shit pissed me off.
And I cannot judge a man based on what he said on Twitter, but how he treated me and my family. And he was nothing but, respectful, and it's just, that's one of the things he told me, though, that it's always stuck with me. It's not the mistakes you make, it's how you learn and grow from them. And that has always stuck with me since he told me that. So, yeah, I mean, it's
Things like that, man. Things, I always say the internet doesn't forget. And that's fine. Internet doesn't forget, but somebody needs to like let go. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
someone just lost their dad. Someone just lost a husband. Someone just lost a brother. I mean, granted, we all lost a wrestler. Some of us, like Senator and I, we lost a friend. That's someone that impacted us. You know what I mean? But that doesn't give people the right to shit on someone because of something they did in the past. They always say, don't speak ill of the dead. Celebrate them. Celebrate them. You know what I mean? Like, it just really irks me, man. It really irks me.
and you know what? It's, if you want to see how much Jay grew over the years, I mean, the fact that he would even post that video of him and his daughter cheerleading together.
Right?
Jay Briscoe that made those tweets would have never did that.
That was wholesome.
And you know what? And family changes a man.
Yep.
Family change. I mean, Scott Steiner was between. If you met Scott Steiner back before he had kids compared to now, you met two different people.
Completely different person.
And it's just kids change you, man. And Jay grew up. Jay was only 2 years older than me, and he grew up so much. And we both started around the same age, actually, which is crazy how long ago that was. But it's like that's his family was everything to him. I mean, even more than this business, his family was the most important thing to him. And, you know, and I see so many tributes coming in. He was, you know, a multi-time tag team champion, world champion. But the most important accomplishment in Jay's life, in his eyes, was he was a dad, and a damn good one.
I 100% can concur with that because, quite honestly, out of all the championships I've won and all the places that I've gone and all the things that I've done over the course of 30 years, the best thing that I've ever done was raise my two kids. Like 100%. Nothing else really mattered, you know what I mean? So, with that being said, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we're going to go ahead and go into the video that Junior and I decided to play. So, we will be back in a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Give us a few minutes.
Professional wrestling is one of the toughest sports going today. If you ever dreamed of being a professional wrestler, then former WWE superstar and World Tag Team Champion Sir Mo